Hello guys, time for the first 4-player game from this current Grandmaster international season. If you remember, I had the first game was 3-play game. I was able to be second in that. So this starts off the 4-player part of the season. And once more, it's a tough lineup, including pv4, Genghisip and Majondor. So you should expect a very high-level game. And probably maybe a military game. Always when there's Genghisip, he likes to push strength a lot, but then again he already also has a balanced approach in some games, but in general you could expect some military stuff. And yeah, I'm behind him in the seat lineup, so have to at least stay a bit alert about that. So for leaders and wonders, there's for military maybe Sun Tzu, Caesar. From HA, there's Colosseum, but also some nice economy wonders, pyramids, Stonehenge, and yeah, there's Stonehenge and St. Pete's and Mikey, so always, and also yeah, Colosseum with Mikey also. So maybe some Mikey plays are possible, and followed up by Ocean Liner and Suez, Transcontinental Railroad, some strong Mikey wonders. But yeah, that takes a lot of setup, and it's a bit tricky to set up a nice Mikey in a Grandmaster game. But also Columbus with Suez, no Cook though, James Watt with the Railroad, and some culture guys also from H2, Napoleon, and then in the Red Cross, Spaceflight, Gates. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on. Nice H2 wonders and nice leaders in H2 also. So this could take so many different routes, this game, so let's see. Before goes for Alex, I think that's reasonable. Just taking a leader can probably send him away quite quickly. Also could take a yellow card, but then again, Alex is just fine. Genghisip goes to pyramids and stuff. A lot of leaders to choose from next turn. For me, it was some consideration, maybe mainly taking Ashoka or Hippo with the card. But there was this Colosseum I was eyeing a bit, so it's a bit better with Hammurabi if you can get it online quite quickly. But then again, Colosseum may not be the one that you wanna rush. But I was seeing that Colosseum is very likely available for me, and Hammurabi is a very strong leader. Of course, there's Caesar on the row. It could be picked up by Genghisip, and that would make it maybe a bit weird. But I think Hammurabi has the maybe the best potential here to maybe gotcha early technology or something from the row, even for 3 if you need. But yeah, Hippo and card could be a nice way also, and also with Ashoka you could take a card. Majondor then elects to go for Hippo still over Ashoka, even though Ashoka with already having 2 yellows in hand, you could use the other one and keep the other one. Could be a way to play it also. Yeah, pv4 finds Roman roads, just dropping down to 2. And normal stuff. He doesn't need the free population, he can just send Alex. And Alex Rhodes is the official combo. Yeah, getting a lot of yellows from the start can stay out of consumption for quite some time. And yeah, Genghisip goes for Caesar, pyramids. He took the pyramids last time. Just Caesar and normal stuff. Yeah, there's Colosseum for me, but then again, there's also monarchy, but I wasn't really willing to pay 3 for that. Could be an idea just to set up the early revolution with Hammurabi. Could be an idea, but there was also this EGA, and I could just get the normal stuff going. Plus I got the Colosseum in the works. Yeah, with Hammurabi I can do all that stuff and still take the EG for 2. And what do you know, the monarchy, I mean, it could be there, probably won't be there, but yeah, I didn't want to take it for 3. And luckily there's even another copy of monarchy, so taking it now would have been very annoying. So with this card row setup, it could be very likely that I can snatch a copy of monarchy and even go for the direct revolution. Majondor opts to go for alchemy, which is quite nice. We get something extra from the deck. Could maybe, yeah, that would require a lot. That he could maybe build one straight up. Before sends Alex, builds lab, takes knights. Yeah, knights is a great card. There's also a second copy of knights coming. And monarchy, yeah, like this, it leaves me very likely, or very even sure, monarchy for 1. But there was no way to really say if Genghisip favors a monarchy here. So having both those copies in, it just is very strong for me. And yeah, obviously, before this development of politics, there was a slight chance of Genghisip having drawn 2 aggressions already and would get a double 1 through, but it's very unlikely. But that's just playing Hammurabi behind behind Caesar. So it throws up once more. But as said, Genghisip is seeded, and there was some more military cards. And it's actually quite nice for me, since I don't draw that many and I can get monarchy going, so it should be a nice one. Still likes the monarchy for himself. I mean, with pyramids, it's always playable, even for the long term. So breakthrough nicely, maybe could set up a revolution of his own. So for me, I popped with the development of civil life, and with monarchy I can just go for the revolution and build one warrior to get out of corruption, so this is very solid. No need to discuss this. And you see it, some more rocks. Yeah, he missed out on the HA wonder, but having Carolina this early is very strong for him. Doesn't really need HA wonder when you can get a Universitas very early on. Builds 2 steps, gets out of corruption, can finish next turn. Shows the tactic just to keep more cards. P4 seeds and some more stuff. he likes to go for the knights. I think with development, just developing knights and building one needs a replacement. At least as there was no leader for one. I think it was intentional. It's always a bit annoying, but then again, if you find nice Isabella here, just getting out of corruption by just electing, so that works quite nicely still. As a tactic, yeah, deck isn't flipped yet, but will be soon. Maybe even quite soon if Genghisip double seeds. Nope, just the pyramids, no revolution. I think there was some corruption issues regarding the revolution. Also grabs the knights and patriotism. And also has a medieval army of his own. So he might have some strength next turn, so I need to be a bit careful. So here I have this early monarchy, so 6 civil actions. I saw Nostradamus on the row. There was also Joan and Genghis Khan, but yeah, didn't have a tactic. Well, there was a medieval army shown already, but not the absolute best one with Genghis Khan, and there's no religion development out yet, so I didn't want to commit to Joan. I have this monarchy, 3rd MA, so Nostradamus works out just fine. He's a bit expensive, but he's just very strong and gives me a lot of leeway to do other stuff than invest heavily in military. And also gives me a nice knowledge of the deck. So I just wanted to elect straight away. And I can get out of corruption by just popping twice and building a lab. So I think this is still strong. I leave code on the row, but there's a second one coming, I suppose, yeah. And just getting out of corruption like this is strong, and I don't have the most science, so maybe it could leave the door open for iron quite soon. So just leaving the code here. I think it's still fine. And I actually even discard the open borders agreement. Even though you could make an argument of maybe offering it to someone. And then again, I already have the 3rd MA, and I probably don't want to offer it to Genghisip, and pv4 and Majondor both have just 2 MA, so I didn't really see a scenario where I will be offering the open borders anytime soon. And it lets me keep more of those events to see. Now there's religion and Majondor. And maybe then maybe even easier commit to Joan since the religion is out. Just finishes the universitas and also skips code. Even though he would have the science, but he was struggling with corruption and also taking Joan. And I think Joan is very strong here for him. If Genghisip goes for some strength now, it could get weird. Before just finishes road and also skips the code. So that code is very sad. It was available for 3 players and it just remains there. It's a Genghisip game then, just valuing other stuff more than code. But Genghisip, yeah, can go for the code. And yeah, with the monarchy online at some point he is on 7 7 civil actions, so that's strong for many more turns. And very fittingly goes for Genghis Khan. Can at least get some more strength, not enough to threaten anything, but at least gets the culture bonus. Another reserves and frugality. Yeah, with 6 civil actions, those are very playable. But at least this drops some stuff even further down. I see that pestilence here. I still have some more population I can pop next turn. And foray is maybe a bit too early. Yeah, with Nostradamus you're not pushing to be one of the 2 strongest. And colonies and unset the borders are still. Well, I don't want to see the colony and unset the borders. I might still be in range to lose a token, so I didn't fancy it. But at least I can finish Colosseum, and then I was I just finish it just to get out of corruption, and when I finish it I can also take another wonder. And while St. Pete's could be strong, there's Colosseum and also the region out, that could be a nice way to get even more happies. But then again, that if I finish it, I would have 5 happy faces, which is maybe a bit of an overkill. And in this sort of game when it's not militarily, the military game hasn't really started yet, but I still think that Great Wall is a nice way to keep up with the strength, even though I have Nostradamus. But having this Great Wall felt a bit safer for me. And while I also have two swordsmen already, it gives me a +2 strength when I finish. Yeah, but it's left on the row then, the swordsman. I'm not taking, but I suppose, yeah, that's another copy of swordsman. And yeah, with that swordsman, I mean, it would be probably fine to skip swordsman. Anyway, with having Great Wall, getting some new hands on rifles with the Colosseum and Great Wall is very strong. And maybe you won't need the swordsman that much, and rifles are just better. So like this, I'm just fine with this Great Wall pick. And that just goes for swordsman himself. Just takes or gets the alchemy out already. It's maybe fearing Dark Ages. It also takes the Theo, which is nice synergy with John. Just takes a lot of cards and can probably still use all of those quite soon. pv4 elects to go for bread. Needs a happy face solution. Didn't have the population to put into religion when it was revealed. And get some more additional strength and even more by building another knight. So deck is just flipped. It could be that there's some strength events. So just preparing for those. First iron came out to Genghisip. And yeah, now he has drawn the, or maybe he drew it earlier even, just didn't have 2 population or one more population to put into military. But like this, he could get the iron started and also being one of the two strongest. And culture heritage is very playable on 6 silver actions and a bit low science now. I say that cultural influence, it was just a neutral event. And I suppose, yeah, I was weakest. I had some knowledge of the deck, but maybe there's still an argument for not seeding, but then again, I was not planning to get stronger here. Start to build the wonder, take reserves. Could be useful just finishing the wonder and having some flexibility. At least, yeah, I actually decided to still get a bit stronger. So seeding there. Let me see. There might be something I was trying to fish out of the deck. Maybe it was, yeah, I knew that the pestilence was in. Yeah, I suppose it could have been that. pv4 doesn't have a free population. Genghisip doesn't have a free population. Yeah, none of my opponents had a free population, so I was willing to risk a bit. Yeah, it's only 17% to come out, the pestilence. But yeah, with the bonus I get for seeding and possible pestilence, I suppose that was the reason. And yeah, obviously I knew of some of the events with Nostradamus also. So that's why I seeded. And yeah, I got hit by the water conflict, but then again, it wasn't like too bad. That was the religion I just got free, and I just didn't want to destroy any any buildings that produce something modern culture. So just destroying the religion is probably least impactful, even though it will mean that I score some less culture. But with the Great Wall coming online, just destroying religion was the best way. And I was able to get even stronger, just building another unit and copying a tactic. And build 2 stages, and like this with the reserves I can finish the wall next turn. And I'm not one of the 2 weakest, so if maybe something is that would be a bit annoying would be raiders. I would have to lose 1 food and 1 rock, so I couldn't finish if raiders came out. But I wouldn't get hit by it now, but it could be so that I still get hit. And then it was about last action. There was irrigation. Could be a way to go forward taking the irrigation, but then again, yeah, it's quite late in H1. There's also ocean liner, but definitely taking irrigation could work here. I'm not producing that many rocks. Could be a nice way to get some more upgrades in. Taking knights with having the Great Wall already. It's a bit maybe weird, but then again, you need another card for those H2 tactics. So should I draw something like Classic Army? Could be needed to have the knights. So I just wanted to have the knights since it's the last copy, and yes, as I said, I'm low on rocks for now. So it gives me some more strength potential even. Just pretty cheaply if I need to build some knights. I draw call to arms. There goes swordsman and full upgrades. Still delays the alchemy upgrade, but he wanted to be strongest and was willing to delay the science upgrades. Yeah, maybe he saw what's on top. He's now strongest. At least can bluff something. Yeah, it's always a weird game when there's no Nostradamus and Joan in the game. So it's just mind games about what has been seeded and what's on top. But they could be strength event, who knows. pv4 still willing to seed, and there's at least a strength event. Majondor wins it, Genghisip loses. Wasn't the most impactful strength event, but then it's every culture counts. pv4 gets even stronger. Pops again, Cardo, so maybe some colony play, since he even is willing to develop it while being on just two science production. And doesn't take irrigation, so let's see if there's any play with irrigation here. Yeah, at least he builds even another unit, putting some pressure on. And maybe, yeah, Majondor doesn't have a lot of military cards. Genghisip on 2 MAs, and maybe in danger of aggression. Well, I'm not out of the woods, but I still have 4. Yeah, I'm probably out of the woods here for now, with 4 MAs and Nostradamus. Genghisip is weakest, doesn't want to seed. This with the cultural heritage can go for the swordsman still in H1. Pops, builds another unit, just builds one and upgrades one. Get the Genghis Khan bonus and be at least threatening a defense with 2 cards. So here I just didn't want to seed. Foray, yeah, it's not great for me. Colony doesn't work. Certain borders, nah. And culture arms could really hurt me if it came out at the wrong time. Maybe could prevent me taking another wonder, such as maybe Ocean Liner. So I didn't want to put that in, and I was also weakest. And I suppose I hadn't seen Raiders yet, so pushing in the Raiders here would be very bad. Even though it's just 1 card. So I found a code, played the reserves, finished the wonder, gets 3 more strength. And with the last action, this urban growth, I'm low on rocks, so I think this is just a no-brainer pick here. There's still the second copy of irrigation showing, but there's alchemy is coming down, and that could get me a nice way to boost my economy a bit. And now I see the raiders in my hand now, so that wasn't in there, but just too risky. And so the breakthrough could be, if I find alchemy next turn, could be suitable. Why not then finally go for the lab upgrade? There was too much military stuff going to go for it earlier. And upgrades a temple also, just to be a bit stronger. Maybe needs it for defense if it just has 1 card. And also threatening to just defend with 1 card is better than just not having that extra strength. And rich lands also work. There's some irons coming down, and getting those upgrade cheaply is strong. So pv4 doesn't even have an aggression. It's just to maybe put the rest of us in a bit of a tight spot, having to respond, even though he appears to not have an aggression. I would expect him to try it on Genghisip. Should he have one, it's still H1. So just didn't have it, which is quite maybe unlucky even, and also didn't have anything to seed. So maybe just colony cards in hand. Finds Himaji. Builds step to get out of corruption. So that was a bit of a corruption issue. Also could have maybe gone for alchemy, I suppose, but yeah, this Himaji is also strong. So H2 starts. There's some rock production for pv4 and Genghisip. And no one's producing any food. Irrigation were just skipped. So it could be a race for photosafety breedings and ocean liner. Majondor is in culture lead a bit and also science lead. So no sort of roaring economies yet, but let's see. There's at least a colony, probably seeded by pv4, and one by pv4 also. Genghisip gets his iron fully upgraded, so it is very strong. Also breakthrough with his low science rich land to go for those selected breedings, maybe even in some cases could add a fourth mine, but maybe just for those upgrades. So takes EG1 and has some happiness issue. Needs to delete a warrior. Doesn't make the biggest difference here. Well, I mean, obviously it's quite bad since he draws one less card and is still maybe in danger of aggression. So actually, it's quite bad that he had to delete the warrior and also pop, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. Needed to fix two of those angry faces. So while he got the iron going, it was still quite costly. I seeded scientific breakthrough. I saw the alchemy on the row, and I even had. I just revealed the new deposits. I was able to go for just one upgrade, but like this, it was even possible for me to go for two of those science upgrades, which I did. And then there was the first cannon on the row. So while I'm just on those tiny warriors, there was first copy of cannon, which I elected to take. As it felt safest with this cannon in hand. I'm still I'm out of range for aggression, yeah, sure. But giving that first cannon with having Great Wall cannon for 2 is probably a must pick at all times in this setup. It means that I can't get the iron, but then again I don't have the science for iron next turn, so I was willing to just take this cannon. And who knows, the second iron might be available for me anyway next turn. So just taking cannon felt the best. I don't draw any, well, a tactic, but not the best one. But some more things to see it. Operation Science is quite the neutral one if it comes out early. And none of those other ones really work. So Majondor finds the iron, can go for the upgrades and builds a swordsman. Just to be not the weakest until his turn. pv4 seeds, yeah, I obviously know about what is needed, but it's actually, since the game is finished quite some time ago, I can't access it easily while having knowledge of my own what I saw with Nostradamus. So I have some keycards that I will be mentioning that will be seeded. So just goes for Eepogi and maybe sees that I also upgrade science. Could be a way to maybe get the scientific breakthrough a bit better, should that be in. But what we're seeing here is the second all the copies of Canon coming down. But on Force CA, it just didn't want to take it. Has knights already. But I was really looking at the ocean liner, and it would appear quite certain that Genghisip will take it. Well, at least before we'll leave it for 3. But I was not counting on getting that ocean liner. But actually, Genghisip just likes to go for the Brain Circus. I mean, getting hit by a rebellion could be brutal. Obviously, hasn't seen Rebellion. I haven't seen Rebellion, I think, but and doesn't even take cannon. Does take Napoleon and some nice cards, but yeah, with this he won't have a copy of cannon available for him, and skips ocean liner. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, getting hit by the possible rebellion could be bad, but maybe it's just take the liner here, since he, yeah, if it took liner, probably no way to take cannon, but like this he doesn't take cannon anyway, so I don't know. And even floats the civil action. So all in all, I think playing it like this is quite weird. Just taking ocean liner and floating in action. I don't think that's too great for him. Pestilence, I have free population, so it doesn't do too much. I definitely want to take the liner. I'm low on rocks, but just having the option to go for the liner is very strong. And I also build another warrior, not to be not weakest. And I did seed the popularization of science. And yeah, that at that point I knew it was pestilence on top, since I had seeded it even myself. But yeah, even if I need a lot of rocks to finish the wonder, I still wanted to build the extra warrior, not to be weakest. And I also saw wave. I'm not weakest in terms of the event deck, but I'm still weakest without Nostradamus. So wave is very strong here. I already took the cannon. There's maybe some nice stuff I'm missing out. There's open growth, could be interesting, but again, I already have 2 labs upgraded, and just the wave seemed strongest here. I draw Crime Wave and Freedom, both are probably seedable. Also the trade agreement if I don't want to see it. This I hadn't even seen with Nostradamus. I was quite happy this was in. And maybe sees the colony play. Also getting a bit stronger. Cannon taken, upgrade mine. Yeah, I think that's what you need to do. pv4 still doesn't have anything to see it, even though he was strongest. He lost a warrior. Yeah, he lost the warrior, but rebuilt it. Yeah, it's just the cheapest way to do it, and while only having to, he can rebuild by using his military actions. I mean, it's maybe not too great that one either. But maybe he was eyeing something on the row, and there's coal. But at least like this, since he probably felt that he, yeah, I suppose he could have just lost a knight also while keeping the tactic. But then again, there could have been some. Yeah, probably needed to pop to get out of corruption, and yeah, he spent 5 rocks, so he needed to really pop to get out of corruption, or just use a civil action anyway. Could be a nice way to just take coal and what. So maybe, yeah, that was just not possible without corruption, I suppose. So just upgrades lab, goes for the coal. Maybe hoping to find what on the next turn. Things like seeds. Some food is lost. Goes for Napoleon already. Yeah, just switches. Yeah, finds a nice scientific method. Can even go for 2 upgrades. So, and like this, at least he draws. Has the 3rd MA. And yeah, he wouldn't have scored the bonus, I think, even with the tactic he had. I suppose not. So it just elected to switch already. So for me, I'm not the weakest. I see it crime wave. It's still quite neutral event. I score 5 culture seeding, and maybe if I lose it, I just lose 3 on a cube. But there could be a way to avoid it anyway. Yeah, cultural influence was from me. I also have a coal I need to go for. There's also what on the row, but I still feel a bit better having the Nostradamus as a strength bonus. And I also want to take rifles. And I was not willing to see it for ages yet, but this, with taking this nice rifles, could be a way to put foray in and get some more rocks from that, since I will be using a lot of rocks, getting the ocean lighter online and also getting those coals upgraded. Like this, I was able to go for the rifles, pay the wave, upgrade even 3 times. I'm tied for the strongest, but I just wanted to use, or I needed to do the final upgrade also to get out of corruption. And yeah, what what did I do? At coal, I went for the rifle, spade wave. Yeah, so I just had the one CA left after that, and then it was mainly between efficient upgrade or the reserves. And while I will be upgrading my coals, but I just might wish to finish the ocean liner next in some cases. So with the reserves, I just have 10 resources next turn to have the option to also finish the ocean liner, and maybe if I don't wish to do it, I could still just upgrade some coals even without playing the reserves. So it's just a bit more flexibility for the price of one civil action. Draw that much. I draw a colony, probably won't see that. At least this Reign of Terror, I will have known about this, and like this, when I went for a lot of strength, I was sure to not lose it. And Majondor goes for selective plus what? So it's a bit of a hate draft, maybe, in part at least. Taking both of those, I mean, pv4 could go for the what? And do upgrades already for the coal, which is strong. And he already has his selectives for now to upgrade, but then again, if there's an early oil, what could do a lot of stuff even in S3. So Majondor, at least he stated to me in Discord that pv4 must be annoyed by this play, and I agree. But it's not a total hate draft either. He still has the selectors to upgrade to and possible oil play. Takes reserves also. So doesn't fancy justice system, even though he could go for it next. But probably just wants to have a government. So just regular one coal upgrade, but at least while he's still keeping Isabella, can't go for the next one either. Also, and while also taking efficient upgrade. So it does hurt him a bit, just not have the very efficient what upgrades, but also not the worst. And he also just skips the justice system, just wants to have government. Genghisip we had to lose one rifleman, one swordsman to the Reign of Terror. Goes for a very late monarchy, but now he's on 7+4 actions. Yeah, hasn't drawn a lot, so probably doesn't have a colony, so Suez is out of the question. And maybe it just has a bit of trouble using his civil actions anyway. Doesn't have any food to pop. And scientific methods he already has, and has a happy solution, has a leader, so yeah, not much to do. So just spending those civil actions on the railroad is very strong here. Can even start building. For me, now I was willing to see it the foray. It was just the deck will flip soon. And I elect to go for the coal play yet first before Ocean Liner, since it's generally stronger obviously. And there's a very important card on the row to help me. So just go for the first upgrade, take EG, play reserves, and start building the wonder. Since there was not too much I was interested in on the row, so I just decided to play the reserves and start building. So like this, it's with EG, it's 2 more resources to finish the wonder. And if I win foray, I'd have 8 rocks in my bank, plus 4 from EG, so 12. So 12 is exactly enough for finishing the wonder and also getting another upgrade. I draw some more defense cards in the colony. Yeah, it could be. I still have some hand space to keep those cards, so it could be available to play a colony even against those bonuses. Some more science for everyone. And of course, cannon maybe has something like defensive army. And starts to go for those food upgrades. So for now, yeah, what will be sitting idle for some time, most likely. Unless he wants to invest in maybe another set of breeding or something. So now he's just a bit of a one-off leader for Majondor before maybe getting an all going. And also loses the third mate, so it's not perfect in any way. Some aggression is tried, and also removing some of those defense cards. Just goes for the upgrade. Takes cat. Yeah, needs replacement, and it's nice to get the third main and also taking rifles. So he's probably not been too lucky either with the colony draws, but then again he also has goal going, and taking Suez would be quite heavy on his CAs. So Suez will be skipped. Always a bit of a weird one to skip Suez in any game basically, but it just doesn't work every time. Takes team sports. Yeah, he's low on population. He will need some more happy soon. And can actually also finish the wonder while taking frugality. So doesn't have any food production yet, but when he will get it, it's better to have some more potential. And with this railroad, he is actually strongest for now. So having seeded foray last turn, I think I will be seeding freedom of movement here. Yeah. And actually revealed the foray. So there was some other stuff also. But this foray is perfect. As said, it enables me to go for the very strong play of finishing the wonder and also getting upgrade. And another set of yellow cards. Breakthrough for one. Always nice and open growth. Even good. Now that I have the Ocean Liner online, could be a way to put a worker into maybe another alchemy. Or just some happiness. This Darwin, I'm at this stage I still have my happies even with Darwin. Just have the happies for Colosseum and Great Wall, but as the team sports was taken, so not the greatest one. Gaudi for 2, yeah, would need some work. And there's Maria. I was mainly looking for Maria here, since I was guaranteed to get Maria. And H is still not probably ending, so I probably can get one more seed. Or if I don't want to see it, just offer the trade. But here, at least, yeah, I'm a bit invested in those rifles since I wanted to win the foray. but I managed to draw a nice fortifications tactic for the Great Wall. I have the cannon, so maybe now it could be possible to see the colony and send a couple of units away and switch to another tactic. And doesn't see it goes for more military units. And yeah, there's Conomans. I mean, at least, yeah, all of those governments were very late, so yeah, mainly it was maybe another hate draft or semi hate draft, since pv4 is very prepared for the Conmon, even though he probably could prefer Republic with having Catherine. But at least like this, yeah, it's quite late. There's 9 cards left, and there's three more government forms in that mix. Genghisip and I have monarchies, so getting a copy of Conman is quite likely. But maybe there wasn't too much to take really, other than that. So yeah, it's not totally guaranteed that there's a Conman available next turn, and he definitely needs Conman over the Republic. So I suppose there was not much else to take. But it also means corruption, I think. No, he escaped corruption. So before this, and I think it was either this turn or maybe earlier. I think it was this turn. He seeded terrorism, which I saw, and that is a card knowledge that always makes it a bit weird for me to play as Nostradamus if it's sensible for me to build a certain urban building. So I think it was at this point, even though it will be quite close. Yeah, probably with Genghisip. Yeah. So he seeded it now, I think. Yeah, was able to find another Conman. There was even no public showing, so just getting this Conman is understandable. And also rifles, while it's still H2, but appears to not have a tactic yet for those rifles. Yeah, I had drawn the Conquistadors at least, but it doesn't look like he has the classic army. It could be a way to just reveal it and threaten to use the Catherine action. So there's colony, 1 by pv4, just for the card, and 2 cards and 1 knight. Place the frugality. I suppose, yeah, he took the foray for food and had 1 extra food lying around. So yeah, no, he must have had. So what was revealed meanwhile? Yeah, there's good harvest and the foray. Yeah, that's how I got the food. Could even bought twice, so the frugality really paid off. Another arena. Could be maybe indication of prosperity or something. Knights doesn't appear to have a tactic from H2. And yeah, finally next turn he can get those farms upgraded. And at least he's safe from the Catherine expansion. So here, having drawn the prosperity was even the next card, so Genghisip finds a way to get some more population out, even though he was quite a long time on those. Oh, he's still on 2 tiny farms, but we'll have some more upgrade to his food soon. I actually see the autonomous territory. Yeah, mainly for the reason, yeah, I don't have a colonization bonus, but I have those two cards. And I was looking at the fortifications, so here I end up building another tiny warrior, so it could be a way to, if I'm on the Legion, to send that two little warriors and plus one big one. Well, I mean, it's quite expensive even like that, but I just I felt like putting the autonomous in rather than the developer tree, since I feel yeah, yeah, you can't really send 3 units for the develop 2. So it could be argued that you can spend 3 units on autonomous. So that's why I chose it over the other one. And while I'm guaranteed to get Maria, she is showing on the row, and obviously just electing sooner gives me more rocks. And also can activate her. I want to go for the cannon still. Just build one, doesn't get me out of the Catherine range. But as I said, I wanted to build another small unit just to, if autonomous will be revealed before my next turn, to have a way of sending 3 units away. Just 2 small units and 1 big one could be playable. I wanted that patriotism, just have any rocks for military. And then I had 1 action left. I mean, obviously I could pop, but that could mean some famine issues. So I just didn't want to pop regularly. I just wanted to keep the food for fending off the famine. And yeah, I think I was maybe a bit too much looking at Majondor's civilization. I thought the architecture would be a very nice boost for him. I mean, he will be going for the government anyway, but he has a lot of food. If he has a nice tactic, he could defend for now. And if there's a red cross early on, he could just very efficiently finish it with the architecture. And I thought I still have some science stored up. There's another copy of Opera coming. There's Chaplin and Marlene. So I didn't want to take this copy of Opera since there's another one coming. So it was mainly between organized religion or architecture. I mean, if I end up going for war routes, the organized could be a better one, just to put more people in the military. But yeah, I think it was in part because I knew of the tourism that's in, so architecture could lower the cost of rebuilding that urban building, and taking organized. I just wasn't building an organized region before terrorism, so all of that played into the decision to just take the architecture. So I draw classic army, which is nice for me to draw, not for me, but just to know. And seeds, and this independent declaration doesn't do anything. Just goes for the common. Everybody is very strong for him. I mean, that's Air Force is also showing, but without the rabbi it would be a bit weird. So choose to go for that, and yeah, he had some more corruption issues as well. Doesn't appear to have a tactic. but I understand the pressure to take the Ravide over Air Force. But pv4 can take it. Also takes stack tip. Upgrades the last mine and goes for upgrade warrior. Yeah, he was willing to go for the Catherine expansion, and me and Majondor lost the pop. But for me, it isn't too bad. I have the liner and some food stored up for the famine. Genghisip tries an aggression on Majondor, depleting his hand totally. So yeah, having drawn this raid, I think, yeah, I don't have anything to see it anyway, and this trade agreement could be viable. But I think this leaves a nice spot available for me. Just to go for the aggression now. Genghisip goes for even a strategy, which is expected. He's strongest now, and even stronger, but I at least know about conquistadors and classic army, so it's not that threatening. So for me, it was just I took the assist I got and just raided both of Majondor's buildings. I think he had just the two, yeah. And it gave me some more rocks, even though I think I'll end up in corruption like this. So I had some happy issues, just two happy faces missing. There was so yeah, there was Chaplin and Marlene and also Jobs in some place to help with the happies. And as said, tourism made it so that I didn't take the organization, even though like this I could have fixed my happies without a leader. But there was Chaplin fixes my happies right away, and opera. With the architecture, those operas could be valuable. But let's see if I can invest at the end. If there's a lot of military stuff, could be delayed at least. But as we know, Chaplin is a military leader, allowing 2 more people in military, so I suppose that's fine. So those rocks give me another upgrade. I want to play the patriotism, I just want to draw. Since I will be going for some strength, I just want to get all the draws that I can. And while, yeah, I suppose, having some military potential, yeah, I felt that fortifications does not probably offer me enough potential. So I just want to have the government. If I draw, then I could draw. I have 4 tactics from each, 3 that work in military ways. Both modern now, both copies of modern, and there's positional army and entrenchment tactics. So I just want to have the flexibility of those government to fill up some tactics. And I still didn't want to show the fortifications, not let anyone else to have it, since Majondor invested in 3rd cannon, could be very good for him. pv4 won't use it, and also maybe Genghisip, but Majondor could definitely use it. I did corruption like this, but I just wasn't escaping corruption anyway, and having 1 extra draw like this. Then I draw impact of government, at least the seed. So Majondor does have enough rocks to rebuild, at least some stuff. Doesn't rebuild the lab, but could maybe go for the multimedia next turn with the open growth, and even gets another rev idea and builds another unit. Yeah, at least I know he doesn't have the fortifications, but decides to get some more strength because he needs it anyway. Like this, at least pv4 would have to sacrifice to not get a sure aggression. It just seeds. At least I wasn't hit by my own crime wave. Scurry is a pretty good boost. Not a big one, but still. 2 science, 1 strength, and 2 culture. Well, that was the same as before. And those upgrades. So he's having a nice economy going. And yeah, he had the Air Force in hand. Another copy showing already. Genghisip seeds. There's some stuff switching hands. Denies the military theory for, well, maybe me, and also Majondor. Well, all the other players, just the first copy. And he has some selections, so definitely denying that could work. Disband swordsman, even another arena. So there's pure in the game, could work. Efficient upgrade should be maybe early oil. Reserves, yeah, just taking a lot of potential. Isn't producing any culture, but still has some culture from Genghis Khan. I was not the weakest. I was willing to see the impact of government. I was eyeing this democracy. Yeah, there's also Funda on the row, but that would put me on just two science production for now, and I felt that was too bad for me. I did not have a war yet, so maybe not. It's not the best to have the Funda here. I still had a nice tactic. I could just spam those cannons, and I was also willing to see it maybe real the autonomous. And this democracy felt that I can invest in this, even though it's quite expensive. But like this, I can still threaten some more strength for future turns. There's also Air Force I needed to take. And then I was willing to, this was the last copy of Air Force. And pv4 and Genghisip could have some strength potential. And yeah, after Majondor got both of those urban buildings raided, I felt that he could be in a bit of a trouble military wise, since I did not have a war yet, so I wasn't sure to have a nice war maybe against Majondor. So in part I wanted to show the tactic so that Majondor will not be run over by the other guys, while also the autonomous wasn't out yet, so like this I could maybe get it for 2 units. A military build-up, I was willing to take corruption once more. Well, that was still terrorism, not revealed. But yeah, going for this demo is quite strong, but then again, it maybe makes going for operas quite task while also keeping up with the military. But yeah, I want to have the military build up for rebuilding the units if I get the autonomous. And also taking it away from Majondor. I don't want to give him too much stuff. I just gave him the fortifications. But even if I just took the cards that I needed, it was enough to show the oil, and I was a bit regretting giving the fortifications, since that is quite the boost. Can't just go for 2 with his civil actions, but it's still very nice. Can read progress. Yeah, that's nice. Nicely timed for Majondor. Yeah, maybe he had seeded it himself, who knows. Computers for pv4, it just keeps getting stronger in economy. Also takes tanks. These can threaten something like shock troops. Yeah, you wouldn't need those for those H2 tactics. But at least it puts a lot of pressure on Majondor and me. So Genghisip is and autonomous is revealed. And I was willing to bid. Yeah, I was willing to bid my 2 cannons and probably threw in another warrior just in case. But it was enough with the 2 units and those cards. There's Gates, nice boost. His oil was taken, well, wasn't his oil, but the first oil was taken, so this Gates will give him a lot of rocks, and even more by building another lab. And also needs to somewhat respond to the pv4 strength push and losing Napoleon like this, or switching off from Napoleon. This Fonda is a nice way to be a bit safer maybe, and even threaten something himself. I still wanted to see it. Yeah, I think it was the impact of government, I think. Or was it something else even? And terrorism came out, and I needed to rebuild. So that was the main objective for this turn. We built two of those cannons. And yeah, I know about the card on top will be freedom of movement. But like this, I just felt that I need to get some more food. And having upgraded those foods, maybe then I could put those put an agriculture building into a military unit after the freedom is revealed. And yeah, I had a lot of rocks to spend, so I wanted to get some more food, even though I have the liner. Could be nice, and also yeah, have a potential to put that building into a military. I upgrade another warrior. I mean, this was still a bit tricky since I sent away those 2 units and my defense cards, but I at least, for the price of 1 draw, I wanted to be in 1 card range against pv4. I mean, he has Himeji, but I doubt he will sacrifice those big units. But he might try an aggression. Well, would be even more likely to try one. if I had 2 less strength. So like this, I threaten to defend with one H3 card, which I could have since I just send away those units, which I was going to do it anyway, and then just spend two defense cards from H2. So I could have a defense card from H3, and it certainly looks like I could have, since I was willing to go for this upgrade. And yeah, mainly because of the freedom movement, I wanted to get this cavalryman out already, to have the flexibility to adjust my military. And that was a very important card for me on the row. And like this, I could go for the foot upgrades, have some potential to put more people into military with the freedom, and enough science to go for Air Force next time. Or something else if I, now that I have the potential. Draw impact of progress, but that could be unplayable. Because for the last mine upgrade, some prof sports, yeah, puts him a bit low on science, but he still has the Ravadia, so he could then again go for multimedia next turn, but it felt like needs some more strength. And yeah, I can copy my tactics, so now he's out of range for aggression. And let's see, now that this turn is gone, I have a bit of a culture lead with Nostradamus and the demo. Genghisip is still not producing any culture. Majondor has some potential with those oils and multimedia in hand. And pv4 is well round up. Has a lot of food also for the Red Cross. But yeah, he doesn't have a well, it has engineering for one, so probably will have a architecture technology. Genghisip doesn't have, and Majondor doesn't have any architecture, so for him the Red Cross could be a bit weird. But then again, he only has one wonder. He could take it for 2 selections and still build 4 stages, maybe. But like this, it would seem that pv4 has the best potential for the Red Cross. And I didn't have the defense card that I threatened, but I was able to draw one with the 2 draws, so that was definitely lucky. But like this, we'll have another spot where the hand is depleted, and Genghisip probably sees that he has a pretty sure aggression. So I just had those cards that I had, but there was nothing really important other than the war. And I just want to keep the war in hand just for potential military play at the end. Yeah, when we look at the cards in the deck, the next draw will be the one that I need to draw a playable tactic to have a war. But at least like this, I still can hold on to the war, and maybe if I draw a tactic, could be a wartime. Before at least goes for some more populations, so a bit less potential for the Red Cross, but probably needed to do something to escape corruption. So I was dreading this turn, but at least it was just the armed intervention. Of course, it sucks a bit, but then again, it's just culture. Doesn't really affect any plans that I had. So some more pop. This just takes a lot of reserves. So he has a lot of rocks, but his population is not too great, so those reserves will help him pop more. And maybe at this point he was even willing to destroy a mine to put into night. So it could be just threatening and sort of a desperate war against someone. Yeah, mainly Majondor, since he is a bit limited on his military actions, but then again, if he just chose to put everything into cannons, he could then build 8 more cannons by turn after. So maybe it was a bit of a all-out military play. Well, it also puts a lot of pressure on me if it has another aggression. So here, yeah, pv4 has some potential ways to score a lot of culture from a wonder, be it Red Cross or well, not internet, but spaceflight maybe. Genghisip is a bit behind, and Majondor looks quite strong with all this production. And it was right here that I needed to commit to something. I could go for both architecture and opera, build some of those. But then again, that would put me a bit, I wouldn't really rebuild or build any armies with that, and it could let another aggression through. I still had this war, and it was hinging on drawing a tactic for to have a sort of impactful war. And Genghisip could still have some potential. Yeah, I know about those 2 tactics from H2 he doesn't have. But he could go for an all-out war. And if I went heavily on those operas, could mean a war against me, potentially. Well, yeah. And so it didn't feel too great to go for that approach. Yeah, the deck hasn't moved anymore, so the freedom of movement will be the next card revealed. So I could set up a potential war turn, even with the stuff that I have now. Maybe could go for some more cannons and some more air forces just with the fortifications. But all in all, I just felt that obviously the main reason if I go for some culture, I don't have a way to get the air force. So that was the main thing. If I went for culture now, I couldn't go for the air force, and that would leave me a bit open. But that's probably just obvious. But yeah. So I wanted to have the potential to go for a big war if I draw a nice tactic. It's still not too likely, but I at least made sure that I draw 3. I want to build 2 air forces. It's still not enough to threaten a defense against the aggression from Genghisip. But like this, I can still use the urban growth, just build some more culture. I want to take MT away from Majondor and pv4. And patriotism just to put another unit out there for the potential war. So like this, next card, if the deck moves, will be the freedom. Then I can put an agriculture into air force, and then whatever tactic I draw, I still have 3 actions, so I could either add 2 cavalrymen or add 2 cannons and show a tactic. So let's see about the draw then, and also urban growth for some more. I need some more religions probably. And yeah, that's a decent draw. So even impact of strength and armed intervention to have something for the last turn as well, and also a tactic. Yeah, I suppose I could have. Yeah. Well, no, it's just I won't complain about anything. It's just a ridiculous draw. So I could have maybe had a sure war, even without a new tactic against Majondor, should he not prepare this turn. But there was Gandhi out, so that option was taken away. Just Gandhi, and also Red Cross doesn't start building, but can still get some more stages. And this man Swordman, yeah, he starts prepping, so he's limited by his MA, so needs to get something going. But at least doesn't get a war from me, but could be an aggression. So for that he prepares. So I could have gotten a war even without the freedom of movement coming out. It would mean 1 less unit. But like this, pv4 was going to see something. And yeah, obviously this is played out perfectly, since I only had one card before I drew 3. So basically I had either a tactic, I was fishing for a war, or had a war and fishing for a tactic. And it's very unlikely that I draw something useful. But also it was a bit weird for them, since they needed to use the freedom before my turn. So they needed to commit to something without the full knowledge of what will happen. And I think pv4 didn't do anything. We could have, in some cases, put maybe something like tanks into computer or whatever. But he just didn't do anything with that. Just took civil service, which is nice boost, and also just took the space flight. Can go for 1 more attack and space flight if there's no wars. But at least at this point he went for this play, and at this point I was sure to get a war on pv4. I think he is potential with perfect. Yeah, if he had modern army, I suppose that was the best one. He didn't have the MA to go for anything with shock troops or anything. I think he was at 78 plus Himeji or something at the best case scenario. So at this moment I had a sure way the war before. But then it was Genghisip's turn. He actually revealed international agreement, took internet with it, and he put air forces into central method. So yeah, he needed to take risk. He was in a position to really escape the finishing 4th without some greedy play. He just gambled on. Well, it's not really a gamble. He just thought also that it's very unlikely that I have a war plus a nice tactic. So it just went all in on not being warred, but like this, he transforms into the main target for my war. Get the stage of the Red Cross. It's library. Place endowment. It's a couple of stages. Gonna go for some more urban buildings and plus finishing the internet. But like this, is just betting on me not having the setup for the war, which I do. It's just war Genghisip, put make ag into those cavalry, into Air Force, pop, build one step of the Red Cross, while also having enough, a good pop, and build a stage. Build a couple more temples, just because I can. And then I have to wreck 2 things for the war. And it was mainly, the first one will be a mine, but then I was thinking about if I should wreck a lab as the second one, but I hadn't seen balance or variety or anything, so I just felt that it's maybe best to wreck those colts, go for the tactic, go for 2 cannons and the tactic. So a pretty sizable war. I mean, obviously a very unlikely war, but I just played it to set up something, and I was lucky enough to draw the tactic, and so taking those cards just to have some rebuild potential for the last turn. And obviously the draw itself just have the impact of strength, just as a nice impact anyway. And if I need more sort of special treatment for someone, I could just aggress them. So variety. So even now I get two culture for not destroying the lab. It just goes for the Red Cross and builds 1 multimedia, and can build some more next turn. pv4 seeds. There's also a balance, so that next 2 cards out of the deck just give me 6 culture like this. Goes for another attack and finishes, and some more upgrades, and the arena just preparing for impacts. A lot of population also. But as played, Genghisip doesn't have a defense, so it just goes for full on internet, which is obviously best for him. But the war will be a very big one now. 59 culture taken, and then I was, let's take this first. It was a bit, it was, I'm not gonna complain about my luck here, but I was obviously gonna fix this. So with seeding, I expose myself to getting an impact like this before I can fix. But mainly before this, Genghisip is out of the race. Majondor will have a big production still, so I would have probably preferred to aggress Majondor, but then again, if I did that, I could fix by playing patriotism, I could fix something. But otherwise my MAs would be spent. So for that flexibility reason, I just impact of strength is overall quite nice, very, very nice for me, so I was willing to risk it and just make adjustments better. I disband warrior, I disband another few units, use the liner, get into plus food, and some more for potential industry, and also another temple. So obviously it would have been plus 12 for me compared to how many after my turn, but yeah, I'm not gonna complain. And also play patriotism, even though this, I think the variety was already out, but I just didn't have anything else to do. Majondor test finishes by building 2 of those multimedias and get the second strongest. So the final impacts, I'm leading by 30s, and I have some nice ones in there. So at this point it was quite clear. Technology is fine. Government is very good. pv4 looks to be strongest for the second place. Yeah, with me having liner and some late food, and also pv4 scoring quite nicely for this. Well, no one was really bad in this. Colonies quite neutral, and then architecture, which is bad for me and great for Majondor and Genghisip, but not enough for Majondor to get second. So I was able to win it. I mean, obviously it was a stroke of luck at the end to draw, but at least drew 3 cards. So without that, it would have looked a bit different. But yeah, at least Majondor winning the first game, he was third in here, so it evens out the league a bit. And yeah, this was it had some nice moments along the way, at least the turn where I was able to finish the liner and get the coal upgrade was very strong. And the Great Wall ended up doing a lot of work along the way and at the end also. So this was a nice result. And yeah, there's one more 3P game is already finished. I'll cover it at some point. But for this, yeah, 2 games that I've shown, I've been second in the 3P and won the 4P, so not the worst start. So thanks for watching, and let's get back another time. Bye bye.